what do we spend on that to maintain?
We do updates on events and activities, but it's very low cost for us.
Deputy Mayor?
Yes, I'm just thinking back to the tourism Sarnia Lambton issues, and obviously we're forced to pay that money at this point. And even though their mandate may not be to deal with the tourism in the Grand Bend area per se, we're actually under their umbrella. And I'm just wondering whether the consideration has ever been discussed of having the 800 number that typically is called to your office actually refer to the tourism Sarnia Lambton for them to answer where they can stay, where they can go, what they can do, because there's quite a bit of time consumed, obviously over up to 300 calls in June that you're dealing with some of these small questions, which if we're paying the money to tourism Sarnia Lambton, why don't they answer those questions? And can we not require that because of the amount you're paying?
Tourism Sarnia Lambton had a few turns for years. They ran without a manager for a year.
Mm-hmm.
They have staff that have been there for years. And they are stuck in a way they used to do things. This is the way we've done it, and that's the way we've always done it. And to be very honest with you, I have had discussions on that board where I have been caught up many times when I have pointed out that this area of the county is not being represented. And they have staff who don't leave Sarnia.
Mm-hmm.
Like this morning, I was supposed to be down there for a 9 o'clock meeting, and I said, why are they always in Sarnia? There are other parts of Sarnia Lambton. Why is it always Sarnia? They can't even hold a meeting outside of Sarnia.
Mm-hmm.
I think to get them to answer questions about Grand Bend and Bedford and Fort Franks and Iguash, I think you have a snowball's hope in hell, to be very honest about it, because they don't have a knowledge base. They are themselves, they work there, they live there, and that's what they're comfortable with. I think there needs to be, they do have a new manager now.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's going to be a great asset, but she needs time to turn that ship around and refocus it. So from a board perspective, and the chamber, we've discussed this, it's like, okay, we're not ready to ditch them yet, because obviously the chamber is paying for my time and my mileage to go down to Sarnia and sit there for 3 hours and then come back up every month.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a question of, is this a good investment from our point of view? With the changes now that are coming about, Marlene with herself is the manager. She has come from outside of the area, so she doesn't have any inborn loyalties to Sarnia, and that's the be-all and end-all of this area. And to her credit, she came up and she met with me probably in, I think it was probably May, and I said, okay, well, this is what we can do. Oh, no, sorry, actually, it was March. It was March, that's right. So I brought it down to the museum. So we have, of course, the Tundra Swans, we have Cane on Trail. You know, the Huron Country Playhouse is closed, but I trucked her around and I talked about all these areas, and I said, there's more here than than just a beach. And there's more that happens. We have shorter seasons of activity, and we need help owning that. She did hold the Tourism Sarnia Lambton's tourism barbecue up here in Grand Bend. So I see her, she has a willingness to focus outside of. And certainly I've heard her voice at our board meeting saying, we are more than just Sarnia, we are all the small towns in the city. But I think that what we're experiencing here is not uncommon. Petrolia, for instance, have the same issue. They requested to have board representation, and they were turned down because Tourism Sarnia Lambton doesn't represent areas, they represent industries. So we are there as a chamber of commerce representing chambers of commerce, not necessarily the Grand Bend area. Although believe me, when I'm there, I am talking about Grand Bend area and all the businesses in between and up and down.
I know that the new manager and county councilors have gotten the message loud and clear at our cultural meeting that we had for us, dealing with the cultural plan that was being developed. The councilors heard that clear. I've heard it from different county councilors and You know, there is more to Lambton County, there is, and maybe there always has been a bit of a uprising against that, but I know that TSL has been told the message to get outside of Sarnia and do more work. It's a slow process, it's hard to change it in that direction. Councillor Scott, I think that.
You have pamphlets of all the businesses and the people have it. I know the museum also has it. I haven't a clue where the revenues are.
Okay.
Fact of the matter is, since we put them in our public facilities, probably, I'm sure the legacy center still has them. The old Sanford days, we had 14 different stations around the municipality. They were small, but they were self-serve, and they were tourist. The only tourist center was Chambers, tourist center officially, and we put up signs at the museum to become a tourist information center. Basically, we're open year round, and we're sure it's not our job per se, but it was our job. It's almost similar to what you answer questions on behalf of the municipality. At the museum, we answer questions on behalf of humanity sometimes. But the reality is I think it was more of Kevin was the one who initiated, Kevin Bryson, if anyone wants to know, he initiated the whole idea of putting the smaller ones out there because there were places, well, like over at Kona, like Rock Glen is only open, I think, for 5 months, isn't it, I think? So I think we put it in a general store down there, for an example. I don't remember exactly, but I think what we haven't done, right, is pursue physically. This is the only real physical presence we have is the chambers. You know, not museums, just we're a government organization.
Councillor Wonstead.
I'm a little disappointed to hear us even discussing this. I'll be quite honest with you. This has been an icon of Grand Bend for years. To even suggest that, well, maybe we should put this off and talk about services. You have a service for which we haven't paid for a number of years. Look at the membership. Grand Bend, Kettle Point, Forest, Thetford, Hensel. These are our people. So the question becomes is, do you want to keep this open to service the economic driver of the area until at least we get into budget discussions and have some substantive discussion on where we want to go with this? Or do you want to keep suggesting, do we really need this service? And what is it that you're doing? She's told you, this is the traditional job of a chamber. This ain't it. They have been doing this for years, and we have been allowing it to happen, and now guess what? The goodwill has run out. The cash has run out. It's dry. So if you want to keep the tourists coming into the economic driver of the area, where they can be funneled down to Forest, down to over to Hensel, down to the Legacy Center, then we have to make a decision here today. We have to put our money where our mouth is, and we are in a financial exigency with this group, and we're either going to support them or we're going to sit here and talk ad nauseum about theoretical gibberish. When you have a done deal here, you have the tried and true right here.
Well, we are a turnkey operation, right?
That being said, I'd like to make a motion.
I'll second it.
I'd like to make a motion that we make funds of $12,000 with receipts available to the Chamber of Commerce to be able to keep up tourism services until we decide when we get to our budget, when we go through our budget negotiations again and we go through our economic development plan. There are funds available. I don't want to see this disappear. It's not a bad season, and it is, I know it's contentious and it's a frightening thing to be doing, but that's my motion.
I'll second it.
I obviously am very grateful for what the chamber has done, and we do appreciate that. We do need marketing promotion. We all know it doesn't fly unless you have means of promotion. I would like us in the process, even if we do a stopgap measure for the time being, to keep things afloat and keep things, I really feel we need to find some way to maximize our monies that are being paid from county level somehow, forcing them to consider investments. I'm really quite serious about the idea that someone be trained at that tourism Sarnia Lambton site to be able to answer the questions about Grand Bend too. Somebody who has frequent contact with Grand Bend and that they can relieve the load of all the telephone calls and administration responsibilities. And I wonder whether we should be moving more towards self-service pamphlets as